Okay, so we're going to watch a video today and react to it. So this video on the Onion Nuggets channel is called Vaush Admits Paul is Right and has a dark woke moment. So, I mean, we've spent a lot of time ripping on Paul. I've made a lot of criticisms of Paul and of TJ. So I feel like it's only fair when Paul's greatest antagonist, Vaush, gives him a W for us to cover that. So I don't know what Paul is right about, but let's find out. I haven't seen this yet. You've seen this, right?
I've seen both clips they're talking about, and neither of them are in the same video.
Don't spoil this for me.
Oh, okay.
Anything. I'm not saying
Onion nuggets. Find me the fucking clip, dude.
All right, hold on. I'm looking.
Give me the clip. I want to see it.
her rallies and convention speech did not answer the question of why she was running for president or how her vision for the country would deliver for voters, other than having been next in line. She was running out of major moments to explain a vision to a broad audience. Her September 10 debate with Trump would offer another opportunity, but the day of the debate, Biden called to give Harris an unusual kind of pep talk, and another reminder about the loyalty he demanded. No longer able to defend his own record, he expected Harris to protect his legacy.
To the extent that she wanted to forge her own path, Biden had no interest in giving her room to do so. He needed just 3 words to convey to, like, don't distance yourself from me. No daylight between us. He's like a movie villain.
That's what a person with dementia would say, right? Who can't form a sentence together.
Send their regards.
I want Cersei to know it was me.
There's no sunlight between us, Jack. There's no sundown, kid.
Sundown. He was actually telling her that I am a lucid mind. It was misinterpreted.
No, he's saying no daylight, like he's down. Like,
all I see before me is darkness.
He's like an HBO mob boss or something. Tell the Palestinians I said no daylight.
No daylight, Jack.
Why this hurts me
Anyway.
the most? I feel like I kind of have to say Paul's ego is right now about Biden being a narcissist. That's what
What? Wait, what? How is that? What is he? How is Paul right about that? Everyone knows Joe Biden is a narcissist.
Listen to Paul's forced laugh.
Yeah, but
Again.
wait, hold on. Oh, he's saying that Paul is right that Joe Biden wouldn't let Kamala distance herself from him.
No, Paul's right that Biden is a narcissist. Yeah, pretty much, basically.
That's not a contentious thing that you can, like, doesn't everyone think that?
This was at the end of a long series where Vaush was crashing out on camera about like how getting doomer pilled by Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries are like the faces of the Democratic Party right now, and he didn't see like how anyone would.
They're really not. There is a lot of resistance.
Well, I know this
to
is
them.
before this clip came out before, I believe, Oligarchy tour. It was like
Before
during
all
the early
town halls and shit.
It was a month and a half ago.
So I have mixed feelings about Vaush. Like, it seems like he's mostly trying to win an argument, and he doesn't have a strong political philosophy behind what he believes. From what I watched of him. Well, that was, I haven't watched him in years, but like back in the, when he was interacting with them during the pandemic and shit, that's when I consumed all my like streamer content, really. So my Vaush in my head is like 4 years old, but like I don't know how to describe it. Like, how would you describe Vaush? Do you have good feelings about him or ill feelings about him?
I mostly watch him when he has a take that's not political on like media and stuff. Just like other shit that's not political, because his political takes are usually like bad or come from like a source of like being a socialist, pure socialist, not like democratic socialist, being anti-capitalist just for the sake of being anti-capitalist, being
Is Vaush like an actual socialist though?
During the pandemic, he was in the era of like profile Vaush, where he had the shaved sides ponytail and shot from the profile, like how Paul is being shot from the profile usually.
He's been in a Fortress arc for like a year and a half now, hasn't he?
Like 3 years.
Well, since the lolly shit, I thought, which was like what, 2023 sometime?
Probably, yeah.
The last time he was on DP, right? Or DFF.
I don't know what time is. Lately, he's just been like doomer billed because of Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries. But he's still like very much a,
Okay.
You know what I'm trying to say, right? He's still a socialist, but he's like a more mask on, kind of like Hasan, but like not as fucking radical.
See, I'm not very well versed in him either. I guess I know the most about Destiny out of the 3 leftist streamers here, and I have a lot of criticisms of Destiny also, but I generally have positive feelings about Destiny. I think that he's a net positive. He's a really good ambassador for logic, and I mean like symbolic logic. I mean like deconstructing arguments, seeing whether an argument is sound or not. The way that he constructs arguments and the way that he attacks issues like that, like I think that's what a lot more people need. Obviously, I disagree with him about certain things. If he sent revenge porn, that's fucked up. But it's like all these people, like with Vaush too, it's like he looks at Lolly, it's like, okay, that's gross. I mean, what do we do? Kill him? Like, I don't know. I don't support looking at Lolly, but I don't think he's a child rapist because of that, right? Or at least we need evidence of that, right? Don't we? And with Hasan too, it's like, well, he brought a Houthi on. It's like, did he? Did he bring like an actual terrorist on, or did he just like bring someone who was like living in Yemen and part of the like military force there? You know,
he brought on a person who killed people on like ships and tweeted out some shit. I forget the details.
Well, that's fucked up if he did that. I don't know, but I don't know the details myself, right? This is all secondhand knowledge I'm getting. I haven't really looked into it.
He also said, on theme with the podcast here, that it's like talking to Anne Frank, talking to somebody who is involved with like the war. This is like talking to Anne Frank.
I mean, he's right in that Yemen is being genocided by Saudi Arabia and has been since like 2017. He's right about that. If that's what he means.
I don't know what he means.
This is the thing, right? Like, okay, so obviously terrorists are bad, but
terrorism.
But the Houthis and in Yemen specifically, they're the victims of our foreign policy in a really ugly way. We have bankrolled Saudi Arabia's genocide against the people of Yemen since the mid-2010s. There's a reason they are the way they are, and it's not because they're evil villains. It's because they're an oppressed people who are fighting against imperial powers, both right next door with Saudi Arabia, but also us. And they're trying to stand in solidarity with the people of Palestine and stop the genocide by committing acts of war and committing war crimes, which are, of course, wrong and need to be condemned and stopped. But the reason they're doing that is to stop an even greater war crime. You know, I feel like it's the ultimate kind of missing the forest for the trees things when we pretend like the Houthis are evil terrorists in a vacuum and we don't look at the larger context of what they're doing or why they exist the way they do. Like if Hasan's like platforming a Houthi and like trying to say, I don't know, like what damage did he even do? What did the Houthi even say? Is he just a bad person for trying to humanize a terrorist who kills people?
I think one day you should watch that clip.
I probably should. We could watch it on here actually. Why am I going to like regret saying everything I'm saying right now?
I don't know.
Okay, let me just state, I don't think it's good to platform Houthis, and if he did that, that's not good, right? But it's also bad
of like he platformed a Houthi, said he's bringing a Houthi pirate on. Later on, said that he had no idea he was a Houthi, and he disavows like what he was saying because his chat got mad at him.
Okay. That's what I heard, right? I heard that he brought someone on from Yemen and other people said it was a Houthi and he didn't think he was a Houthi.
Oh, he said
what
before, he's like, I'm bringing on a Houthi pirate. What you're doing is based on Ansarallah is like a voice of God or some shit we need to have like in this country, in this world. You're doing what, you ever see One Piece? You're doing what Luffy would do. Those are like the cliff notes I have in memory. I just know his community did not like what he was doing, and he kind of went to backtrack on claiming he had no idea he was a Houthi. He was just some like Yemenis like child. Okay. He had no idea he was a soldier. He claims afterwards.
Okay, so I see. So he knew that it was a Houthi pirate who had killed people, who had killed civilians,
and he called him based for doing so.
Okay, like in the conversation, you were saying he actually says based for doing that, for killing civilians. Okay, then that's terrible.
Don't release that part of the video here until we watch the video, so I can like be sure.
No, I'm gonna release it. I'm gonna release it.
It's so fucking bad. No, I'm gonna put to like a year-old drama.
I'm gonna put all my shit in there, like all my. So I have to eat shit if I'm wrong, but I'm leaving your shit in there too. We'll see. You know way more about it than I do, so you're probably right. But
well, I watched the fucking Destiny cover it live. I watched the Ethan nuke more recently. I've watched.
Dude, constantly. Can you explain to me like what they eat? We're actually, let's save it for tomorrow when we watch the Hasan video.
It's very complicated, involving Dan Clancy from Twitch. Dan Can't Stream, the co-host for Destiny's podcast. Ethan Klein, Destiny. His Hasan's fucking orbiters, Frogan Denims, Mike from PA. It's a long fucking like
All these people I don't give a shit about. Like,
Exactly.
okay, well we can get into that more. I'll probably ask you when we watch that next, like about a bunch of lore questions and shit, and you can fill me in. But
I'll have to remind myself, but yeah.
we got off on a huge Hasan tangent, but the the point is, like, Vaush, Destiny, these are deeply flawed people in certain ways, right? And I have severe criticisms of certain things they do. Obviously, with Destiny, my big criticism of him is with the genocide, right? And his reaction to that, you know, and I'm sure there's other things I like. He seems very pro corporate Democrat, like he'll defend Biden and his camp for no matter what they do, and always try to argue the party line, which of course is extremely disingenuous. You know, so that those are my criticisms of Destiny from what I've seen. I think that in a lot of ways, though, he's based and he's a very useful, needed force in the greater dialogue. And don't, you know, if he did revenge porn, he should have to suffer whatever consequences of that. But I also don't think that that means we take him behind the shed and I don't know. Like,
what he said
the revenge
about
porn
him arguing the corporate party line, I would say is in good faith what he has said himself. He doesn't see like the
well, he's arguing in bad faith, you're saying.
well, your representation of what he would say he would be correct in good faith, basically.
So he would admit my criticisms of him are true.
Yeah, that his position is that he would vote for the corporate Democrat because like it's better than Trump.
Well, no, I mean, that's not my criticism.
I'm trying to remember
right?
what you said.
I'm not saying like supporting Joe Biden or Harris is wrong, because I did too, right? Like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that he'll defend everything they do. Like, defense, like, refuse to acknowledge any valid criticisms of corporate Democrats.
He will if confronted on them.
From what I've seen, I get the impression he's very much just whatever the party line is, that's the position I'm going to take, and that's the position I'm going to argue. But
well, one of the things he does, like his style of like research and debate, is that he'll research both sides, but then like be able to argue both sides, but on like an issue, because he feels like if you know both sides, you can argue like pretty well and like know your opponent's like arguments.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But the debates he gets like force him, he says, into like accepting a certain defending a certain side.
Well, yeah, he misses the point of it, right? Like, it's important to know the different sides, but you still have to come to the conclusion of which side is your side, right?
He it might be rewriting history, but he did come out semi recently. I don't remember. It could be like the entire time I just wasn't paying attention, but he says that he is pro-Palestine. He just
yeah, I
he
saw
just
that.
argues the Israel side because the people who argue the Palestinian side are like really shitty at doing it, and he could do a better job. But he's just like taking devil's advocate.
That's not even what I saw. Okay, so that's different than what I saw. But I saw that
this is a rewriting of history semi recently.
I saw that semi recently he had walked back his "it's not a genocide" thing.
Yeah, if you're annoying him,
does that sound right?
If you're annoying him in a certain way and keep like bringing it on, he will just like concede that point to get the argument moving along.
Oh, okay, so he's not sincere then in walking.
He also really wants to stop fucking doing IP because it's
well, too bad. Like,
yeah,
exactly. When IP stops, we can stop talking about it. Okay, like that's okay. That's the plan.
As for the revenge porn, that was like over a year ago where it happened, and he wasn't on Vyvanse. Obviously, it was bad. I condemn what he did. He seems like he was genuinely.
That's like when fucking Roseanne sent the Lunesta tweet or whatever.
Yeah, I know.
I was on Ambien.
The fact that
yeah, that's what I'm asking you. I wasn't even talking about like the actual substantive criticisms I made. I was talking about how do you feel about like, well, just in general, like figures in communities like this, in political, like, so it's not even like just a random celebrity, but this is, you know, these are
like important. Despite what he did with the revenge porn, I still respect him as an individual for his like the amount of research he does into topics. I still like Destiny. I still watch his content. I still watch his streams, and there's nothing else on.
I watched one of his streams since he's been back, but I haven't watched much of him. And I didn't watch. He streams all day, so I don't watch all that shit. But
I watch him over Paul or Vaush.
Yeah, TJ. Probably. Yeah, if it's between those four, I'd take Destiny, I think. All right, let's get back to Paul being right. We're 1 minute into this 18-minute video.
So,
I can't tell which one of them is fake laughing.
What the fuck? I cannot believe. Just play that again. Play that again, please.
like I kind of have to say Paul's ego is right now about say Paul's ego is right now about Paul's ego is right now about
Oh my God, clip it.
Ego is right now. Say Paul's ego is right now. Say Paul's ego is right now about Biden being a narcissist. That's what hurts me the most because he's so insufferable and wrong about so many things. But I actually,
Of course, look, he's insufferable. He's insufferable and wrong about so much else, but on this one thing, you must give the devil his due.
On what? That Biden told
Is a
Kamala
narcissist.
not to distance herself from him?
Yeah,
That's obvious.
that Biden is a narcissist.
That
and
wasn't
that he
in
has to give
contention.
Paul-
Hold, that's not right. He's not right about that. I mean, he is, but we're all right about that. That wasn't in contention. No,
I
there
know.
was no debate about like, is Biden a narcissist or not? Like, what? How is
Exactly.
that? He's taking a victory lap. You know, I think the sun is going to rise tomorrow, guys. I think.
You know what, guys?
tomorrow
I gotta
the
say,
sun will rise.
despite Alchemist's flaws, I have to give it to him. He was right about this one thing.
I was right about the sun rising.
I hate to admit it, but yeah,
I was right about
Alchemist
that.
is right.
Brilliant. Now I'm going to jerk off in everyone's face about it for 20 minutes.
Oh, he's so salty. Oh, I love it, dude. He's so
Is he?
salty.
I can't hold
Is
my
he salty?
stance in that position.
Not really.
All right.
Damn, dude. Damn, son.
Now we'll come back loading. Dude, let him listen, okay? What kind of guy would I be if I saw this and then tried to like argue a caveat? He's going to use this clip for months? Good, he deserves it. That's the point.
Does he?
Hard.
Does he deserve it?
He deserves the one win. Yeah,
I was right. Triangles have 3 sides.
but it's like over such a fucking non-issue.
How is that? Even if everyone in the world was like, Biden's not a narcissist, and you were like, yes, he is. It's like, okay, good job.
The most based individual in
You know,
the
I'm starting
redacted.
to suspect these politicians who rise to the top of government. They do seem a little narcissistic to me. You know, don't they? I was right. Biden's a narcissist. Well, you and me and everyone else, buddy.
Heartbreaking.
Everyone except for Vaush, who's been living under a boulder for the last, since he got caught with his pants around his ankles.
Worst person you know has a point. That's
I mean, maybe.
Worst person you know.
Yeah, I don't-
I like that Paul is the worst person Vaush knows. When he thinks of like just who's an asshole, Paul's ego.
When did I get worst person status? I don't know. You did, bro. I thought I had VDS. That sounds like PDS right there.
Yeah, he's got a little PDS, dude.
I mean, dude, here's the thing is like, you can already hear him because he has a fuck on me, even though I was.
Did you see that chatter?
Wow.
I just want to
Wow.
say, hey, all I'm going to say is I don't think he's going to.
Here's the thing is like, you can already hear him because he has a fuck on me, even though I was right. He's got a fuck on me. Instead of just like examining, like, why was I so smugly, confidently wrong in the face of Paul's.
How is Vaush even wrong about, like, was Vaush legitimately wrong about that? That's so crazy.
I really hate to assume how Paul is taking this. I really hope that in good faith, Paul heard Vaush say that I have to give it to Paul that he's right on this one thing, him being a narcissist. I really hope it's not he heard that and now thinks that he thinks that Vaush is saying that Paul is right about everything about Joe Biden. While he's a do nothing Democrat
or lesser
or
evil
voting.
or whatever.
Yeah, everything. Like he did not convert into like no confidence. He just made a comment about like how
Well, I mean, he even said in
Man.
that clip, like, Paul's
Yeah,
ego's
but I
wrong
hope
about
Paul
everything
understands
else, but
that.
he's right about this one thing.
he says that Vaush
It's
like
ego's valid criticism back then. Maybe I ought to change up my viewpoint on the
Back
Democratic
then.
Party and start paying attention. Like, no,
You're basically the bro.
Maybe I ought to change my viewpoint on the Democratic Party.
Vaush said that Biden's a narcissist. Paul's ego is right. Paul's ego is taking that as sounding like
Vaush
is
said I
now
was
saying that
right about
everything-
not supporting Kamala.
about everything.
I'm not like you. I'm not going to use this for 6 months. I'll use it for 3.
He's a man of principle. Just 3 months.
I have principles. No, I'm not, but I really am not. I'm not one of these like clip monger dudes. Like we do clips of what we do here. I've known, I didn't need Vaush to tell me I was right. I was right. I mean, like,
Yeah, you were right about Joe Biden being a narcissist. Everyone was right about that. That's so
Everybody
crazy.
was saying that.
That's so crazy.
you know what I
This is so. I didn't know this was this was like an argument that happened, but Vaush is saying he was right and Paul's saying he was right. So that means at one point they argued about this, and Paul said Joe Biden's a narcissist, and Vaush said
I guess.
he wasn't.
what I mean? So it maybe like what I would say back to Vaush is maybe examine your positions, because if you'll remember when we clashed and I was correct, you were smugly, confidently incorrect. So maybe examine how that happened, because I'd like you to be on the right side of things. Like, believe
I really like you to know that Joe Biden's a narcissist going forward.
it or not, I wouldn't mind if Vaush was out there really agitating for a third party, really agitating for dumping the Dems, really agitating for labor rights and workers' rights.
Vaush supports unions. Like they agree on so much. It's just that at the end of the day, Vaush says vote Democrat, and Paul says don't ever vote. Vote for a third party, which apparently is this new thing. I don't remember No Confidence mentioning vote green.
It didn't say vote green. It said vote for anyone who's not a Democrat. Or write no confidence. Do one of those.
Released the ballot selfie.
Either write no confidence for the Democrat on all of the different races, right? No confidence. Or just vote for someone who isn't a Democrat. One of those two.
I'd take his well-manicured, soft little rich boy hand and go hand in hand on it, But I can't keep
and do what? That was a weird edit. I'll take his soft boy, rich boy hands and go hand in hand.
People to death during the Democratic primaries and electoral process, and then coming to the realization slowly through your content that the Dems are weak cucks and shitty, self-sabotaging, controlled opposition, and then all just to have it flare back up when it's time for election season again, dude. I break the cycle and be a part of the actual resistance.
Like Paul.
He's gonna go to DC and badger the politicians, right?
Well, he told. So I don't know. I don't want to leak DMs or anything. He told me a long time ago that he was going to try to go to DC in January.
Yeah, he said that on High Ideology.
Okay, yeah. So whatever. Then that's public. What the fuck? What happened?
Person I know had a good point.
Dude, I'm the worst person he knows. That's crazy.
That's crazy. Nice of you to rig the wheel.
Why being dark woke?
I love cats.
Yeah, what is dark woke?
That was my big thing. Is I was looking for. I went to Vaush's
So wait, is it over
channel
or what?
looking for something to trigger Paul.
Paul was right.
When I saw the word dark woke, I was like,
is it more Vaush or is it something else?
This is more Vaush. They're going to watch the first 2 minutes of his 30-minute video.
Okay, let's give it a shot.
You've got to know what it means.
So I was like, that was what compelled me really more than anything.
I don't know what it means either, so.
Dark woke opinion for a second.
Does dark woke just mean doom-pilled?
It means saying retard and not being optics pilled. Getting in the dirt and being not afraid to be tone policed.
This is what I meant in my Kyle video when I said we need to be the disrespectful left. We need to be the Al Greens in the room, not the Chuck Schumers. People who use our freedom of speech and our liberal rights to combat fascism.
Instead of being afraid of being canceled by Twitter.
Right.
I see some drama brewing. I guess I just want to have a position on it so that maybe other people can agree with me on this, I guess. Remember Hunter Schafer? She's the actress.
No.
Mute yourself, fucking TJ, before you cough.
Existent through me, which is insane to me, but I guess not all of you are really keyed in on anything. You just sort of live under a rock and watch my streams. If
you don't know who Hunter Schafer is, you're living under a damn rock.
That's the criteria if I don't know.
I guess I'm living under a rock.
I watch a lot of media.
Who's Hunter Schafer?
I forget. He talks about her in this. She's a trans model, actress.
Oh, from Euphoria.
Isn't Zendaya in Euphoria also?
Yeah, she's the star of Euphoria.
Okay, so here's a feature of Schafer that most people are aware of. If you can, if you're not already aware, she's quite attractive. The number one thing that reactionaries go after trans women for, and I'm talking most
trans actor. Okay, got it.
Mostly about trans women here, because
she is a trans woman who acted in a bunch of shit. Got it.
It's the way beauty standards work and the expectations that we hold women to.
That's bad though, right?
But the main thing that people go after trans women for is being ugly. Now, are trans women ugly? Well, I imagine some are, in the same way that some of any group can be ugly.
Dark woke.
Well, that's not okay. No, that's not why. It's because they're biological essentialists, and so that's what their big criticism of them is, right? Am I right about that? You think?
That's one of them, yeah.
No, I'm talking about the transphobic people, the fucking super straight guys or whatever.
That's the mask off reasoning, yeah. They wouldn't say, I can't breed a trans girl, on the news.
Right, well, no, but I'm saying that's what they mean when they say you're not a real woman or whatever. From the perspective they're coming from. Is that you don't have
women in their mind are just breeding cows.
And ovaries and shit. You can't biologically produce
cows have ovaries, yeah.
Grow a child. Yeah. I know. I don't agree with them, but I'm saying that's what their perspective is. It all comes down to biological function. I've got the muse in my head. She's universal.
We around with some dark woke now, boy.
What is it?
Just saying not every trans woman is gorgeously beautiful. Is that dark woke?
That's just like saying there's not attractive people in the world.
It's an unfair standard to place on people.
Why are we talking about this person? Because fucking Vaush, this is Vaush's crush currently? Like,
No, he's setting it up.
That's what I'm getting at, basically.
I'm getting distracted by them interrupting him. Maybe we should just watch the Vaush video.
You know, it's not like
It's
a
30 minutes
logical
long.
argument, and you can attack that
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
from a rational position of like, well, what does the appearance of transgender people have to do with their validity? Which is a perfectly logical rebuttal. This individual said, no one can convince me this dude passes.
Okay.
And it's a turf who looks like
Brianna Wu.
No.
It's a turf who looks like Brianna Wu. She looks like Brianna Wu. You don't think so?
She does.
She does.
Kind of.
ass bitch. Looked at
I can see why you think that.
What? Why? Why? What
Redacted.
What about them is similar?
Facial structure in that one unflattering photo that I linked to you earlier in the day.
This guy, for the audience, this
Oh, here we
guy
go.
has pictures of Brianna Wu in his camera roll. That's all I'm going to say.
I mean, I do now because I downloaded it to show you, but
Somebody's like, nah, I'm gonna keep being mean and didn't pass. When she passes, better than her.
Wait, so Vaush gonna be mean to her? Is that the dark woke shit?
I guess, yeah. Dark woke is when you fucking look at this ugly bitch and say, that's one ugly fucking bitch.
Okay. I don't care. Do it.
I mean, that's basically what he was kind of
that's
saying.
what dark
but yeah,
woke is? Just
that's almost what Vaush was saying. But
let's
yeah,
just be sexist to turfs. Like, you're transphobic. Fuck you. Well, I guess it's not sexist to call her a fugly bitch or whatever, but so
well, also the what Twitter was talking about is that they were accusing this of being a trans woman.
Well,
This
I
will
mean-
never pass as a woman, but it's actually a cis woman who's a turf.
fair game. She started it.
Yeah,
But that's not woke. But
That's
because
the
she's
point.
transphobe, it is woke.
Right.
But it's dark woke. Yeah. I think that's what's happening.
I think that
What?
makes sense.
Okay, let's operate. I'm operating on that
But let's see.
premise to see if anything, you know.
this.
I
With
want
the
it to
turf
make
guy.
sense.
Things. So an insane position to hold. And honestly, you're all saying it. I'm not saying anything.
Okay, so what? So dark woke is just calling this bitch ugly. Is that what we're doing?
being able to call her ugly without getting canceled, and
Is
to say
it?
the word retarded.
Hold on. Here's a question. Is it more wrong or whatever, more offensive to say like you're ugly, right, as an insult to this person because what you're doing is you're objectifying them based on their looks, right?
Yeah,
Which is sexist in a way, right? Because you expect a woman to be beautiful typically if you're that sort of person.
yeah.
Okay. So is that more sexist and wrong? Or if I just say this is a stupid cunt who thinks dumb things, is that worse?
It would be about the same to a
Why?
certain individual.
Why?
Because
that
cunt
be-
isn't a nice word.
So what? What about, but I don't feel like cunt's not sexist though, because guys are cunts too.
Yeah,
Right?
but cunt is a corruption of a French word meaning whale's vagina.
No, well, cunt means cunt, like a vagina. You've
Yeah.
read Desaad. You know what encunting means. Like that.
I
Like
have not heard that word in so long.
So if I call a man a prick, is that sexist?
In a way, yes, but it's
Oh
okay to
my
be
God.
sexist to men.
Whatever. This is so stupid. She's a cunt. That's not wrong to say. It's more wrong to objectify her appearance as an insult. It's less wrong to point out she's a cunt, like a bad person, right? Like,
Maybe we
I don't
should
know.
watch the entire Vaush video and find out what
No,
Vaush
we're not
means.
going to do that. We're just going to.
Neither are they.
I'm just having fun tonight. I don't like this. Isn't really.
They are going to fucking dip out real soon.
All the substantive stuff we talked about in this video was before we even started this video.
Yeah, true.
Like about Hasan and shit.
Twitter
Oh.
account's like, that trans woman is an ugly f***ing skank. And then you'd be like, this you?
Yeah.
It's like,
That's all the rebuttal you need. Like,
rebuttal f***ing has occurred.
yeah, this you? That's so true.
That's about the extent of it, yeah.
There are so many times in public where I just want to call someone a cunt. Usually at a grocery store.
If you're in Australia or the EU, you could say it.
I know. I
It's
need
their
to
word,
go-
not ours.
I need to go to
You need
Australia.
to cut past it.
I need to go to Australia. I'm probably gonna have to convince to like marry me so I
Oh.
can get citizenship over there.
The golden path is going to Australia via
Yeah, homie's
That.
gonna be my ticket out of here.
Sesher Nabiwa.
She's gonna help me out when I get politically persecuted or whatever.
It's always like this, isn't it? Ain't it?
This is triggering in that it's like
Dissect-
incomprehensibly boring to me. I don't even know what being discussed here, so
What happened? What'd you say?
This
After
is-
the boring thing. I heard boring.
this is
Dissecting gender ideology, one predictable surgical nightmare at a time. Oh, so this person is just mean to trans women who have fucked up surgeries.
Yep.
Comprehensible, boring. I don't know.
Right, but then after that, you said something.
Yeah. I don't know what's being discussed.
Okay.
They also weren't listening,
So-
but yeah.
I'm confused.
There's an actress on a TV show called Euphoria.
Yeah, I feel like I have a better understanding of what's going on here than Paul does, honestly. Okay, so this is actually, I can sum this up way easier than TJ is going to. This person that we're looking at is a TERF who was attacking a trans girl based on their appearance. And so Twitter decided to attack this person based on their appearance as a dark mirror of themselves back at them. That's like the plot of this story that's happening. That's the narrative driving the action,
Roughly.
if you will. Yeah.
And Vaush is saying that we should be able to insult them.
Has Vaush even said that yet, though?
No, he will, like, in 15 minutes.
Okay, thanks.
And she posted some pictures and said some, like, you ain't gonna race us trans women thing. And then this bitch here come along and say, no one will ever convince me this dude passes. Okay. She's a cis woman. She's a TERF. But she happens to look more mannish than the trans woman that she's taking pot shots at, and she's an ugly bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And so Vaush calling her an ugly bitch.
Gender is so stupid. Like,
Yep.
whatever.
But because you're not supposed to do that for whatever reasons, it's dark woke. Because it's not woke to look at a woman and judge her for her appearance, but in that context, it's
They're editing the videos like I edit the videos now with the cuts, I'm noticing. I feel like I've influenced them.
Or they regressed from being like professional YouTubers for the
Competent
past
to
20
being
years
amateurs.
to now like somebody who learned how to
Yeah,
edit
wait
a
a
video
second.
in 2 weeks.
Hold on, I'm having an epiphany. Maybe this is the drop in quality everyone's been telling me about.
it's like, come on. So therefore, you find yourself at an intersection of dark woke. I think that's what's going on.
That's some lame ass shit, dude.
That is super duper, like, social media levels of.
You've got to be, yeah, I mean, like, you would have to be not even terminally online. You would have
Stop using Twitter, everyone. Don't stop giving Elon Musk money. Holy shit. Nobody should be using Twitter still.
to just already be dead, like in the internet graveyard.
Go to Blue Sky.
Yeah, I deleted my
Need
Twitter
this word.
when it got sold to XAI.
Yeah, I got my. I haven't.
I still used it after you left, but once he sold like it to fucking his own shell corporation to like remove the debt he had, I just said fuck it, I'm done.
Yeah, stop funding this person's war against you, please. It's not helpful. It's not helpful.
One of these people are trans, guess which one? And we have this sort of, I'm not going to say anything, okay? I respect all. You're not,
You're not even being dark woke then.
This is like one of the Hogwarts teachers had like a rough night.
how do you attack this position?
Can we stop calling bullshit motherfucker tweeting a thesis and shit? Can we stop calling this horseshit a discourse? Can we stop trying to elevate this to some kind of importance in our lives and world?
Can we stop calling this a show?
Please.
It's
not a fucking discourse. It's not a fucking thesis. It's a bunch of morons prattling on the goddamn internet is what it is. I don't know why we
The town square has always been filled with idiots. Like, whatever.
need to dress it up all fancy.
It's not gonna
Put
stop.
lipstick on a pig. It's still a pig, mother.
There's always been some crazy guy holding a fucking sign with a shoe on his head and 100 idiots gathered around him who want to
Shoe on
feel
head.
like they're important. Bro, come on, don't. I don't. That was no. I don't even want to think about Shoe on Head. I don't know how to feel about Shoe on Head. I don't. She's not a person in my world that I pay
Okay.
attention to. I don't want to have to know all the Shoe on Head shit now. Like,
It's just Prowler Dwarves, dude. That's all it
Armored Skeptic though is fucking crazy now. Have you seen all his new shit?
is.
Dude,
You say you
like,
like trans people? Well, you're an ugly bitch.
I'm just saying, like, the war for people's minds on this, that the internet doesn't matter and they need to pay attention to their lives again, was long ago lost. This
That's fine.
is-
You know what? I'm not even trying to counter that. Can we just not act like it's important? Can we just not use the language of discourse and thesis and so on? It's like my counter thesis to this gentleman's claim.
Oh my god.
Like, fuck that. It's a tweet. It's not
Yeah, but
thesis.
the discourse.
the shadow president
same
owns
visual,
like
right?
Twitter,
So you can
makes
do it
memes
like
on
the
Twitter,
Pardon me, gentlemen. I'm
uses
going to
Twitter.
engage-
The president uses Twitter. All of his cabinet uses Twitter to like make proclamations, troll, make memes. But I understand what TJ's trying to say.
Yeah, I don't care. Just people are gonna talk. Who cares? None of it's. Different things have different value. Valuable conversations can happen on Twitter or not. Doesn't matter. It's such a stupid fucking...
Using some dialectic now.
Material. What we're really talking about is her validity as a transgender woman, and whether or not you pass is actually irrelevant to whether or not your identity is valid. You know, there are transgender women who never take HRT or get SRS or anything. There are, you know,
I don't
women...
need babies first woke on this shit. All right, I think we got it.
Maybe first.
I think I.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, they watched the first 2 minutes and 20 seconds of the video.
So we don't find out what dark woke is?
No.
That's going to
Not through
drive
them,
me
at least.
crazy. Hold on. What does Google AI think that dark woke is? Dark woke is a term that emerged on the left as a response to conservative criticism of woke ideology. It refers to progressives who are no longer focused on making nice and are instead meeting their opponents with an equal amount of fire, often through humor. So just liberals.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is stupid. We're dark woke. We just stop pretending to be nice to you.
I've
Not
discerned
caring
what's going
about,
on
yeah.
there.
I don't think I got it, but that's cool.
Paul doesn't even want to get it no more.
I don't want to get
I was
it.
like, I don't get it, and I don't want to get it.
I don't pretend I want
My
to get
curiosity has f***ing
No,
fizzled
no.
into
Are
nothing.
you dark woke?
So, if I understand correctly, it's dark woke to call the turf ugly or whatever.
Yeah, and not care about like being canceled or being optics, about how
Isn't
it
that
looks
just
bad.
called being based? Like,
Yes,
okay. When you don't
he
care
goes
if
into
you're
it more in
canceled,
the video.
you're going to speak your truth no matter what.
Yeah,
I just
Yeah,
I'm
you just
not
can't do it.
willing. I'm not
Can't bring
willing to
yourself to that point.
do it. Yeah, I
It'll be
can't.
a massive, utterly massive waste of your time. Do concern yourself with it.
Keep 'em going.
I read somewhere that trans actress is eyed by Marvel Studios to play Mystique in their X-Men reboot. That's, I mean, I don't give a fuck about anything that's going on with Marvel anymore. I can't watch that shit. It's all terrible.
And I don't give a fuck
give a
if
fuck.
it
Yeah,
goes
tune out
on.
after Endgame.
I don't give a who they cast as any character as long as the movie is good.
Okay. So I don't get like... This is just a reaction channel now.
they've been doing React content for years.
It went from Wikipedia, the show, to React content. No, they've been doing like news and shit.
Barely covering the news because it upsets
Whatever.
one of their co-hosts to cover the news.
Poor guy. All right. Well, that was a giant waste of time. I don't know if there's any actual point that was discussed in this, but I'll see what I can make out of it. I hope it's fun to watch. Yeah. All right. Any parting words?
Good night, everybody.